You might be wondering, what tattoos are the best ones when you first have a tattoo? And weirdly enough, like whatever works for the best as the first one, it's actually what's good forever. So let me explain. So the best first ones are clean, simple, readable. If you build a sleeve, you wanna clean, maybe not simple, but readable. Same rules apply to just a large scale. Also, it's really good if you can pick an area that's easy to cover, because you as a person, you will change. So for example, when I was 17, I managed to get this barcode done. See, I don't know if you can see, but I managed to get this barcode done. Then when I was about 2019, 2017, I managed to get this trophy done. And then underneath the trophy, there's like a star. Hopefully you can see. And underneath the star, about the star, I did that myself when I was about 16, 17, 18, I don't even know, but somewhere there. Now I'm 32, which means the persona, the human being, what I was back in those days, and the human now are not even friends. Like, I wouldn't even talk to that kid. I mean it. I would not talk to that kid. I would just cut him out there and then. That kid was not a cool kid. This kid's cool. I like him. Which means you will also outgrow yourself. Which means whatever you pick is not something you would pick as a 30-year-old. And then it's not something you would pick as a 40-year-old, as a 50-year-old. But the problem is that will lead you to that. I know there's times when you don't care. Like, I don't care about the barcode. I think it's a cool story. That's how I got into tattooing. It's a big deal. I'm gonna keep as it is. No changes will be ever made. But what I'm saying is, when you pick as a first, when you're not really like wondering what should I go for, this or this or this or this, pick an area that's easy to cover. So in the future, when you don't like it and you wanna add to it or you wanna swap it, cool. You can just come to somebody like me. I've been tattooing for like 13 years. It's easy for me to pick a design, something like, if you have a small one, an area that still has space around them, like boom, done, cool, covered, bye bye. Then you also don't want to drop in the middle of the arm, like for example there, because if you end up with a cool design, your previous one is bang in the middle. And then what? What were you supposed to do? Imagine if you got the whole stomach, you want to do a nice tattoo, and you just put something stupid there. It doesn't look like a stupid decision when you are doing it. You're like, yeah, this is cool. This is amazing. I love it. But then 5 years go by, you go from 18 to 25, and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not really into that kind of thing anymore. I would like to have this, but I have that. And then you better have an area that's easy to cover, just in case. Just in case. I'm not saying that you will cover. I'm not saying that anyone needs to cover anything. Just in case. You never know. Might need, might not need. Go for that. And also when people come to me, they always say, where do you recommend? I always recommend somewhere on the side where it's kind of out of the way. You can still have the real estate, because naturally I always build sleeves. Like, sleeve building is my passion. I fucking love building sleeves, and I like making big massive pieces of the whole body. And then what irritates me the most is something in my way. Like, there needs to be a nice line, and there's something there. And when I always keep in consideration of the skin I'm not using, not the skin I'm using, that's cool, we can drop anywhere, but what is the skin we don't use that could be used for something cool in the future? So let's put this here, so you still have this. That's my mindset whatever I do. So pick a design that's small, simple, readable, lasts forever. It's gonna serve you 100 years, and also sits well there. It needs to be size enough that lasts longer than you live. Yeah, so like, you don't want to be, I don't know, 50 and people are like, what you got? What is that? Like squinting, looking at your tattoos, like, you don't want to be that person. You want to be like that. You're like, oh, that's cool. You don't want people to go like, what is that? I can almost understand. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to have that tattoo, or if you are a tattoo artist, you don't want to give that to the people where somebody has to like squint to see what the fuck is that. Not cool. Not cool at all. You want to have clean lines, but you don't want to have thin lines. So when you think about fine line stuff, forget about that shit. Like, that is the first what will go in cover-ups. It will go in cover-ups 100%. Like the ink is not enough to last long. Like just the amounts of ink in that spot won't last. Your body moves, your body emerges, your body still attacks every single day, tries to get your ink away. And imagine if you actually give a little bit, just a little bit of ink, just a fine little line. How hard is for body to erase that? Quite easy. Guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna erase that. It's gonna do whatever it can do to get that shit away. Because body treats your tattoo as a flu, like flu, F-L-U, flu, which means he will always, for the rest of your life, gonna build these little white blood cells who will go and attack tattoos. Wherever you go, as many as you go, like these get every single day, they get attacked by my body. My body thinks this is a flu. And my body will do whatever it takes to eliminate that. Which means, imagine if I do bare minimum, if I do a small thin line, obviously it's all going to be taken away, it'll be bye-bye, nothing's left, and then what? So, which means, one, if you have a fine line tattoo, it'll be gone, it'll be erased as soon as body can do that. Second, if you do on people fine line stuff, they also will be erased. So you are a problem maker. Yeah, like if you do fine line tattoos, you create cover-ups, you create problems, you create disappointments, you create a future issues, you create a future payments, future all the bad stuff basically. And then people like me, I'll be thinking, fuck, that shit is in the middle, I could do some big stuff but I can't do that. Or you're gonna say, can you cover that? I'm like, fucking hell, what does, you know what I mean? It's not cool, it's not nice. And then if we are covering your tattoos, why do you create something that I need to cover? Makes no sense. Or why would you receive something that somebody is gonna cover? Makes no sense. And you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm not gonna cover that. It'll be it's never gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. You will become a different human being every decade. So like whatever you are from 18 to 20, you are a kid. Then you are a little bit bigger kid. Then you got 30s, you kind of start to live a life. And then you got 40s, you actually have brains in your head. And those are like different human beings. But the tattoo just like hangs around, still loud. Like, you know what I mean? That's what you want to pick. You want to pick a good tattoo. You don't want to go for trendy stuff. It's like, oh, this is cool now. It's not going to be cool tomorrow. Everybody loves fidget spinners. What are they? Somewhere in a landfill, binned it, people just sold it. There was like, so many people put life savings on fidget spinners and then they just died, bye-bye, that's it, no one needs them anymore. And then what are you gonna do with that? Don't go for trendy stuff. That is also future cover-ups. Cyber sigilism, future cover-ups. Small little fine line, cover-ups. Little names and dates, cover-ups. Like all that, you just put in cover-ups. Simple, clean, and not thin line, just nice, good amount of lines that last forever. They will stay. Those are good tattoos. You're not gonna regret them. And don't put them in a bang in the middle of somewhere, like a middle of prom. Like what other people, like, you know what I mean? How am I supposed to work around that when it's like in the middle? To get something that you actually like and it's evergreen, something's gonna last forever, something's gonna be in your mindset, something's gonna be you as a human, not as a trend, not as an age, not as a moment. You as a human generally like, generally appreciate, generally it just makes you. Like I love solo leveling, and it's that. I like the idea that you level up. In a business, we level up. We learn more drawing, we learn more skills. He has to unlock certain skills to become better and better. When you start tattooing, for example, if you're a tattoo artist, you learn lining, shading with liner, shading with magnums, shading with a curve mag, shading with a 9 mag, with a 20 mag, with a 15 mag, with a liner, 5 liner, 7 liner, 9 liner, 11 liner, 14 liner. Then you do packing with 3, 5, 7, 19. There's always stacks of skills. You can level up. You just always go up. Then it has 33, which is my life path in numerology. Then there's number 7, which is like, yeah, there's all, like, it's what makes me. Yeah, that flower, my missus' favorite flower. She might change her mind. She's like not favorite flower anymore. So what? I still like it. It represents her. It's cool. I'm happy. She's happy. Gets me some boyfriend points. I call them boyfriend points. Gets me boyfriend points. She's happier. I'm happy. It's cool. So, like, I'm never gonna regret making her happy. I'm never gonna regret me being a good boyfriend and trying to make my missus feel happy. That, you know what I mean? That's like evergreen. You always want to make your... Anyways, long story short, get some good ones, get nice ones, not thin lines, not small ones, not trendy, genuine, really nice tattoos. I know it could mean anything. I don't know what you like, what you don't like, but what I'm saying is don't pick garbage. Don't pick from TikTok. Don't think it's handy, it's cool, it's fun, it's whatever. It won't be. It'll be a cover up, and you can get bullied, and people are not gonna like you, and you live on the streets, you die, and you're homeless, and all that stuff. I know I'm over exaggerating, but it makes the story more colorful. Yeah. The amount of times you actually try to save people from themselves, like the amount of times that people walk in and they just want a garbage, like they say, please can you do that on me? And you're just like, no, you don't want that on you. I'm gonna tell you a story. This is not a first tattoo, but this is a story of a tattoo, yeah? This lady walks in, she says, I want my knuckles tattooed, like literally on the bone. It's not fingers, not hand, knuckles, like on the bone itself. And I was like, okay, what would you like to have? So like, I'm already no, I will decline the whole thing. But let's play the story. I was like, what would you like to have? And she says, oh, I would like to have a name written there. And I'm like, writing on your knuckles, the area that ink doesn't stay whatsoever. And like she walked in as a really nice lady, like in a lady, not just like a little walk one kind of like a chav just off the street, but like really nice, polite lady with good manners, with a good stance. She's like, I would like to have my knuckles tattooed. And I was like, huh? No, surely no. So I was like, what would you like? She says she wants a writing. I was like, that won't work. It won't look good on you. She's like, what? You're not gonna give me a quote? I was like, nah. I was like, your fingers look really nice. You get nice fingers. Keep it that way. So you're not giving me a quote? I was like, no. I was like, your fingers look nice. Keep them that way. She just went. She walked out. She went somewhere. And the amount of times we try to not fuck up people. Like we try to save people from people. We try to save humans from humans. Like the amount of times that people walk in asking for random garbage. It happens all the time. I understand there's some cool dope stuff that people would love to do that no one ever does, but there's some like bad garbage, and it's really hard to save people from people, but it is what it is. So that's that. If you want a first one, get nice tattoo, clean. Like my trophy, for example, that was the first tattoo convention I went. I was there. It was remarkable. It was my first one ever. It marked a history, and it's a little trophy. Will I be ever sad for that? Nope. I have this one. I don't know if you can see this video camera probably is focusing my face, but I have a little small love heart there, which my daughter did, and then this doggy my missus did. I know these are not my first tattoos, but what I'm saying is this is done by my daughter, which means it will be always meaningful to me. Like whatever age I am, I'll be happy that my daughter tattooed me. Also, my missus did that on Halloween, which means I have lines on me by a woman that I love, I like, I care, and it's like how I will never be sad for that. And I know it won't be your first one, but what I'm saying is for inspiration wise, you can have a good stories attached to them, and it's cool. So get those. That's gonna be evergreen. It will be always with you. If, for example, if you get your grandma's writing where she said love and wherever your name is and then X, evergreen. That will be cool till wherever you die. It's cool. Like it's your grandma. That was her handwriting. Dad's handwriting. Some stories that really gonna stay with you, help you, improve you, and try to not capture sad stories. So like when people die, suicides, as much as you care, it's kind of too late because those people are not here anymore. So you can't really prove that to anyone. So I would not recommend to like capture that moment and put it on you to show him that you loved him, but that person is like dead 2 years ago. it kind of makes no sense. If you love people and if you care about them, go to them today and give them flowers. Makes more sense than wait till they die and then you buy the flowers and then you get a tattoo. Makes, you know what I mean, it's kind of backwards. So yeah, small life advice. Cool.